Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the public forum here at the group exhibit, Hydrogen, Fuel Cells and Batteries. I invite you all to come and have a seat. There's still some more seats available at the front. I know this is quite busy at this time because with this talk will be a little special talk. We will be discussing the topic Go to where the market is to reveal unveiling unknown business potentials for hydrogen, fuel cells and batteries. The person that I'm going to introduce now is not only a guest to the fair, but he is also the founder of the fair. Back in 1995, the exhibition started with only 10 exhibitors, and that's the beginning. That was the beginning on a few square meters, and now see what we have reached for the during more than 20 years. So please welcome with me on stage the founder of the group exhibit, Mr. Arno A. Welcome. Thank you. It's an honor.
Thank you for the invitation.
So Arno, you're the founder. You've been coming here for several years now.
Yes.
How was that like when you were here 20 years ago in 1995?
Well, it was rather small. We only had 10 exhibitors, as you already mentioned. We had only a small area about the size of this forum. But we had companies like Siemens or BMW or the Fraunhofer Institute for Solar Energy. They were all with us from the beginning.
And they're still here, and the fair is growing and growing, and we are also having online guests watching from all over the world right now. So yes. Hello also to our online guests.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I would like to know what was the fuel cell technology like back in those days? Was there already an industry?
Well, the industry question we are going to talk about later. Actually, at the beginning, there was not even the name fuel cell in our exhibition. It was only called hydrogen exhibition. Fuel cell came into the name some years later, maybe 1998.
Okay, and you brought something today that you would like to show because you're the founder of the fair, but now Tobias Renz is in charge of the fair.
Yeah, that's
but you're
good.
Still coming here, and you're still active.
I am.
You refer to yourself as the hydrogen ambassador. So the knowledge that you bring here is highly valuable for the industry, for all of the exhibitors, and more than 20 years of experience. So what did you bring today?
Absolutely. First of all, I would like to thank Tobias and his team for the effort they are taking every year again. And last night I found out that next year Tobias will make it for 12 years in consequent, and I was doing it for 12 years also. So he's now overtaking me. So I brought to you this graphic, thanks to Messe Servicebau who made this for me. And my topic is hydrogen and fuel cells on the way to commercialization, and we start with this first slide called the state of the art.
So what is the state of the art right now?
Well, first of all, the source is the International Journal for Hydrogen Energy in 2005, operated by Professor Nejat Veziroglu, who also wrote the foreword to my book. So I got this from Nejat, and you see the headlines which are here: the hydrogen source, the production, distribution, storage and utilization. So these are the 5 steps we have to watch, and all these points are represented by our 150 exhibitors, which is quite a good state of the art what we have today.
And we have 40 new exhibitors this year.
Pardon?
We have 40 new exhibitors this year.
Even better. They are most welcome.
So let's have a closer look. So we have the hydrogen source, then goes into production, the distribution, and then ways of storage and utilization. And utilization is rather a new topic.
Not rather new, because they all belong together. But let's start with the source. So there are many ways of making hydrogen. Also, it's the most abundant element in the universe. And on Earth, we have to make hydrogen first. So we can use natural gas, we can ethanol or methanol, we can use LPG.
What is LPG?
LPG is a special kind of gas also, but it's more or less fossil. Or we can use hydro, the power of water, or solar energy, or wind, or biomass, or geothermal. or we can make hydrogen out of coal, out of oil, and also of nuclear electricity. So are different ways how to make the hydrogen for the first step.
And now, how does it go
And then we carry on with the production, also 5 different ways how. Well, this is source, this is the production, how to make it. Then we have the distribution, also still some alternatives. And in the end, we come to the utilization.
So I would like to know at what state of commercialization are we already with the whole thing in the fuel cell industry?
That's a good question. Now we come to our second slide. So the second slide has a lot of question marks. And that's the headline, what to do next. So there are many undecided things which you know better than I. There are many questions about the source, about the production, about the distribution, how to store hydrogen, and what are the final utilization. Because at the moment, we are only at the beginning. And I'm proud of each and everybody of these companies and research institutions who have found their little niche and who are doing the best they can to answer these question marks.
So the exhibitors have found their niche. What do you do? What do you know better then? What can you tell to exhibitors?
Well, we can carry on for the next 25 or 30 years to optimize these niches, sorry, but still the breakthrough will not come because we are working all for the breakthrough since at least 23 years I'm involved with this technology. So we must maybe think of a different way, of a different attitude, of a different approach to come to the real breakthrough, which is long waited for.
More specific, what is the different way?
Let me show you.
More details here.
Just a second. So when we have analyzed all these topics, all these keywords, we find that there is maybe what we call the golden, or in our case, the orange path. The way how we can go to where the market is. So we must more or less concentrate with our own knowledge, with our experience within our companies, that we can concentrate on, that's my proposal to you guys, on these ways.
What are those ways? You selected some ways. For example, in the hydrogen source, the exhibitors or players should only focus on hydrogen, solar power, wind, bio.
Yes.
What's geo?
Geo is geothermal, the heat from the ground. And this is not hydrogen, this is hydro. This is water, running water, like say in Norway or in Austria. They have lots of water and they can pump it up or use the water. But we must think about, is it really a good idea to use natural gas to make hydrogen? Is it really a good idea to use coal to make hydrogen? And is it really a good idea to use nuclear power to make hydrogen? Because I'm independent and I can say so, for my knowledge and for my vision, it's not a good idea. So we could concentrate on renewable energies, but we must not make the mistake only to concentrate on electrolysis, because then we have more and more conversion stages between the primary energy, which is this one, and the production of hydrogen.
But what are you trying to tell those who are already doing electrolyzers? We have many electrolyzer companies here.
They can use their knowledge and their know-how, like ITM Power, a small company with only 70 employees, and they are, in my eyes, number one by their experience and by their product, so they can concentrate. Of course, their knowledge is not without use. They can use their know-how and come to this solution. And then the next step, the production should be decentralized. The moment we have a huge production plant, like say to 50 or 500 megawatts, we are lost, because then we have to go to the grid again. And those of you who have read my book and can see and find out how bad the grid actually is.
So how would a decentralization work?
Decentralized means small. Decentralized means overseeable. Let's take this example. That's my little...
That's your gadget? What is that?
That's a loading device. Cost 15 euro in Lidl in Spain. And with this loading device, I have the pleasure of loading all my phones. I can load 10 phones at a time. I plug this USB stick to it, and I have here 3 bars. So when I drive home to Munich, I put this in my window in the car, and this is automatically loading without costing a penny of electricity.
So you're really forward thinking. So you already did step 1, you're using solar energy. You did step 2, decentralization, using the power also for your phone. Not only big, but thinking where it's applicable.
That's the only future. And again, it's all in my book, which I publishes in 2010. You can read it there already.
And now go on.
Now we have the distribution. We can distribute hydrogen if once we have it by road, by rail, by ship or by pipeline. But still, again, we have to think how many losses we have when we put the hydrogen on a truck. How many losses we have when they put the hydrogen into the pipeline. So we have to think about new methods which are not known today, but which maybe some of your companies is already working on. They only cannot explain it to their boss to get some more R&D money.
And you're the right person to step in right there.
Yeah, I don't know it myself, because that's a 1,000 or $1 billion question. If I would know it, I would not be here. I would make it. But I'm quite sure that there are some sources, some good people who could step into these.
And the same with the storage. You're probably believing that there are many new ideas how the new materials where the hydrogen can be stored.
Absolutely.
And then what other new products and services are there already available? Can you read some of those?
Step by step. Let's stay to the storage, because we can use Kiro, which we had. If those who have been here at our first exhibition, 1995, there was a Kiro plane from Airbus already. That's more or less frozen cold hydrogen. We can use it as liquid, as gas. Then the question, have you 350 or 700 bar? It's all undissolved. Or we can use it in metal or composite tanks. But still, I think there is a new way how to store the hydrogen once we have it on this way. I'm quite sure. Maybe one of our exhibitors has this possibility.
And why is that new way better than those commercial ways, for example, tanks or power to gas or liquids?
Because it will have less conversion stages, less losses within the whole process. It will be more or less one-to-one. That's the idea.
Okay. So pro-energy efficiency. And then the last step, utilization.
Yeah, that's now the breakthrough, because, to be honest, the pull will not come from here, the pull will come from there. If once we have a new product, or even better, a new service, which nobody knows today, and the pull will come by the people, by the demand, by 7 billion people who are living on this planet and who are wanting a new product or a new service, and then the pull goes back to the source of the hydrogen. That's the philosophy.
So comparing the fuel cell industry to, for example, a smartphone, at what stage is the fuel cell industry right now? Is it still a brick phone, or already at the stage of smartphones?
It's even before the brick phone. In my book also I have the sales figures of Nokia. Nokia missed the chance of these smartphones, but Nokia was a leading market supplier of mobile phones, and Nokia had a sales figure of 474 million phones in the year 2008, which means they were producing 1.3 million mobile phones on one day. So now you ask anybody of those guys, can you make this, can you make that, can you make me a thing? They said, well, we have a delivery time of 3 years and the first unit will be ready after 5 years. But that's not the point. You must be aware that you have to produce 1.3 million units in a day. If you are not, you've lost.
And what does it mean to go to where the market is?
That means that the market will be the actual driver. When we have a new product, a new service, the market it will be expensive. The first mobile phones from Nokia, they were expensive. They cost 15,000 Deutschmark, which was the price of a second-hand Porsche at that time. So we must think expensive, convenience, back very good ideas, and then the market will come, and the market will draw all this automatically behind. That's the idea.
And you brought one last slide.
Did I? Oh yes, thanks. Sorry. So the last slide, that's the solution. The last slide is, why not leave all the rest away and concentrate only on this path? That's my proposal.
That's very easy said. That's very easy said.
Thank you for your patience.
If I can translate, you're just saying whatever you're concentrating and doing right now, whatever business you're doing right now, don't do it. That's what you're saying right now.
Well, not don't do it. I said you can keep, of course, on your experience, on your knowledge, on your 10, 15, 20 years of experience, on your business model, but you must be aware of that this is the way of the future.
Arno, are you open for questions from the audience?
Sure, but let me say one thing more before I forget it. On this Solar Power International in September this year in Las Vegas, you're all invited because maybe you see the next steps there already. Who knows?
Will you be there as well?
I will be there, yeah.
So this is, for those of you who don't know, the Hydrogen Fuel Cells and Batteries Group exhibit here at Hanover Fairground is expanding. Doesn't mean that we are moving, but we are having another edition at the Solar Energy in Las Vegas in the USA. That will be this year in September.
And when I heard this, that Mr. Tobias and Deutsche Messe is going there to Las Vegas, I was booking my hotel and I was booking my flight one day later.
Well, so you see the potential in the US market, or do you see the potential anywhere?
Global, it's global. 7 billion people is our market, worldwide. Had nothing to do with Las Vegas or Hanover, it's global.
All right. Well,
and I hope some of you guys will take the opportunities. That's my hope.
And is there any question from the audience at this time? This is the chance to ask the expert who has been here for, who has been an expert in the industry for more than 20 years, who is the founder of the fair, who is also a visionary regarding hydrogen.
And I'm independent. That's the most thing.
And independent.
And I've been to more than 100 conferences all over the world to come to these ideas.
Well, how can you be reached if there are questions? I know they're a little bit shy,
well,
because they have so much respect.
This is my website. My old website is hydrogenambassadors.com, but you can still find me here. My email is known. You can find me easily, and I will be there.
And where can you be found here at the fair?
I will be here until Wednesday. So these posters, they will be outside in the exhibition area, in the exhibitors area. Later you can have a look, you can make a selfie with my 4 steps. You're most welcome.
So who should really approach you? Those who are concentrating on electrolyzers, on methanol fuel cells?
Anybody who has an open mind, and anybody who is thinking about the future. Anybody who is aware that what we have done the last 25 years cannot be the future. So we must concentrate on something different. That's my approach. That's my advice for you guys.
And without this vision that Arno has been carrying on for the past few years, we would not have been where we are right now. So absolutely. I would like to, before I come to an end, I would also like to thank you. Thank everyone who has been coming here for the last years, coming over and over again, participating not only at daytime, but also at nighttime, at the networking events. I think we've been growing here to kind of a large family here, seeing each other at a family event all the other years, and doing business on the side. Thank you, Arno, and thank you, all the exhibitors.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Arno, it was a pleasure. I think all the questions will go directly in the one-on-one talk.
You find me by the orange tie.
By the orange tie and the orange belt. I'm not sure if it's visible, but all orange. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Arno. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. All the best to you guys.
Thank you, everyone. Hello. That was the last talk for today, and we'll start tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the morning here at the Public Forum. Thank you.